Diary hello, it is September 2023 and this is a Raspberry Pi Model 400 unboxing, and to avoid it being the shortest unboxing in history, I'm going to have to also talk around the subject. So the Raspberry Pi 400 is in performance terms the equivalent of a Raspberry Pi 4B, and my standard 4B configuration is here. So why am I ditching, for now, this beautifully svelte Raspberry 4B inside a beautiful aluminium case, and instead electing to go for the Pi 400? Well, let's do the unboxing first. It's not going to take long. I think it's in a, don't embarrass me, it's in a carton box. This has been bought from Amazon warehouse, so I've saved some money. This came in at about £70. I've checked the Pi Hut and the price including postage of a new one from Pi Hut, which is cheaper than Amazon. The new price from Pi Hut is about £84. So we've got a box with, in this case, Amazon warehouse written on it. I'm going to open it up, cardboard, and do it the right way around. Have I got it the right way around? I don't want to break the box, I think I've got to send it back. Come on. Oh, there we go, it just opens up like that. Ah, I have it upside down. Okay, so in this particular case, I don't know if it's because it's from Amazon warehouse, I've got an empty box. I've got no instructions, no safety information, nothing. I've just got the unit itself, and if we put it by the standard Raspberry Pi, which is here, you'll see that the size is of a smallish keyboard. Let me put it next to an Apple keyboard that costs more than the entire computer. Here's an Apple keyboard, and you can see that there's the size of the Apple keyboard is the size pretty much of the Raspberry Pi 400. Now, the Raspberry Pi 400 is similar to the 4B in terms of performance. It's actually slightly faster. It's got a 1.8 gigahertz processor, and the 4B has got a 1.5 gigahertz processor. This model comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's not expandable, and if you buy a 4B, you can have 2, 4, or 8 gigabytes of memory. Now, in our home, which is populated by many Internet of Things devices in the UK, we do also have a huge number of Raspberry Pis. I mean, let's say we're into double digits, and they are all doing little things. And I tend to have this test, at least one, at the moment I've only got one left, a test Raspberry Pi, and I would develop things on here and then move them onto a Pi for example, VPN, for example, retro computer emulation. So I've decided that perhaps a better way of doing things is to have the test Pi be the Pi 400. And for £70, it's actually going to work out cheaper than buying a Pi and one of these fancy £20 cases. I'm going to try and use it with not a micro SD card operating system, but of course a USB key operating system, because in fact that's quicker than having it on an SD card. But to look at the slots and ports, we've got the kind of standard ports you might expect, including the Ethernet, the USBs, and the display sockets, and also the flash memory slot, which I won't use. There's also the GPIOs there behind this plate here. Okay, so that's Raspberry Pi 400. This is about 70 something pounds from Amazon and from Pi Hut, which I'm not advertising them, but they tend to be the leading Pi supplier. And now, of course, the embargo is lifted and all Pis are now available again. You can get one for about £84. Okay, Darry, that's it for now. And there's just one more thing. So I've just had a quick tour of the Raspberry Pi 400, and it indeed is noticeably faster than the 4B. So as to recall, it's got a slightly faster 1.8 instead of 1.5 gig clock speed, so you might expect that. I just wanted to point out that here it is running, and you'll see I've got the Ethernet I've got a keyboard, I've got the operating system on USB key, it's faster. I've got USB power source, and I've got the display connector. It is quite convenient to have this as a setup because the regular test Pi I would have that would sit on a desk kind of wobbles around a bit. These connectors are always very fiddly, and I break these adapter cables left, right and centre. That doesn't change, but it does mean to say that you have access to all of these ports more easily than in this setup, in my opinion. So yeah, it's marginally better as a test rig, I would say, than a standalone 4B. So I give it the thumbs up. Unfortunately, I mentioned earlier this is from the warehouse, and I think I know why. It's from the warehouse because someone's returned it because the C key sticks, so I'm afraid it's going to have to go back. So that's the perils of buying from Amazon warehouse. It doesn't always work out, and Amazon is not the cheapest place for Raspberry Pis. Pi Hut beats it every time. Okay, Dari, so this is going back, but I think I might order a Pi 400 as my new test rig.